Okay, I've got the Eachine Micro SkyHunter out here. I thought I would get one more flight session in on this plane before finalizing my setup on it. Let's see what direction's the wind coming from. Alright, let's see if we can get it in the air. There we go. I think I've got a little more consistent way now of getting that launched. At least so far it's been fairly consistent. What a fun plane this is. Sweet. I think I'm liking this setup. Maybe just a tad more expo on the ailerons. That thing sails, doesn't it? That's a pretty fast little plane. Very maneuverable. I'm liking it a lot. Little bit of wind. Okay, my timer's going off. See if we can slow it down and bring it in. That wasn't very pretty. But I am having a lot of fun with this plane. Very maneuverable, plenty of power to pull aerobatics with it. Very stable in the air. What's not to like? Okay, let's get it in the air again. It's getting a little windier out here now. Yeah, I think that little additional expo on the ailerons has tamed it down a little bit at center stick, close to mid stick. I think that feels a little bit better. Yeah, feels good. Isn't that sweet? I'm keeping the altitude a little bit higher than I would normally because it is getting pushed around a little bit by the wind, getting a little wobble to it. Man, that thing will turn, won't it? Just a little bank and yank plane, but man, that's awesome. Like I said, flying this reminds me of flying my park jets, the way it handles and everything, the amount of power. The maneuverability of it. Doesn't look like a park jet, but it sure flies like one. Is that sweet or is that sweet? Ooh, hitting some wind. That is cool. Okay, I got my timer going off. Let's bring it back around, see if we can land it in the crosswind. Yeah. I didn't like that. Let's go around. There we go. Sweet. What a sweet plane. Man, I love flying this thing. And my launches have gotten a little more consistent. Since I don't launch these from the bottom anymore. So what I'm doing is putting my hand on the wingtip and holding it down at my side and you know, kind of throwing it like a boomerang or something, you know. But it takes right off that way. Just give it a little bit of an upward angle. And I've had much more consistency getting nice launches out of it that way than what I was doing before, which was pulling it across my body and throwing it. I tend to lose my timing on that when I let go of it and kind of flip it over, you know, when it launches. So yeah, that's worked out better. But I'll see you guys back at the hangar and we'll go over the setup file. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, my setup is golden on this plane. I absolutely love this micro SkyHunter, and looking at the airframe, you would never guess that this would fly like a park jet, but it absolutely does. That's what it feels like when I have it in the air. It feels like one of my park jets. It's awesome. Very aerobatic, plenty of power. You saw those big loops I was pulling through. It barely even slowed down before it got to the apex. I'm happy that I have a better method of launching it now, which is a lot more consistent, because I've just about crashed it on a couple of launches. But anyway, I'm not going to go through the entire setup on this plane. My setup is golden now. I'm really happy with everything. I put an additional 5 points of expo into the ailerons to make them a little bit smoother around mid-stick, and that worked really well. So I'm finished with my setup. This is the setup that I'm going with from now on. There is a link to the setup file in the show notes. It's a PDF file that has all the information. It has my CG, the way I balance the plane. It has all of my linkage connections at the servo control arms, as well as the control horns. I think that's it. My dual rate, my expo, my amount of control surface deflection I have on the ailerons and the elevator. And that works very well for me. Now this is kind of an aggressive setup, because I do like my airplanes to be aerobatic, but it should give you a good starting point, and it should give you a successful maiden flight, cruising around at 60 to 70% throttle, as long as you don't get too crazy with it. It's not real aggressive until you pick up some speed, and then the setup is pretty aggressive. So if you guys are interested, download the PDF file. It's in the show notes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the air.